Hey, it's day 2 of sewing a quilted jacket from a used quilt. So if you missed part 1, you gotta go back and watch it to see how I cut it out. Even though I made some mistakes, but whatever, okay? I got it done. And so today, we will attach all the pieces and make a quilt jacket. You know what I did forget though? I forgot to cut out a couple of pieces to make some pockets for the front of the jacket. So with the scraps that I have left, I'm gonna make me a couple of pockets in the front, and I'll just put those or add those in as I go along. I'm not gonna take you through the cutting process, okay? So today I'm gonna be using my heavy duty Singer sewing machine to put it all together. Yes. So come along with me and let's make a jacket. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to sew together is the vest type foundation of the jacket. I am going to sew across the shoulder seams on both sides, and then I'm going to sew straight down on both sides of the side seams of the jacket. And I'm going to be using my Singer heavy duty sewing machine. I'm going to be using a straight stitch. I'm going to be using 2.5 stitch length. My needle is in the middle position, and I'm going to be using 3.5 tension on my machine. So those are my numbers. Do it how how you would like. That's just what works for me. I'm using this Teflon foot mainly because I'm lazy and I didn't want to change my presser foot. So I am just taking off my pins, and I'm just gonna sew one side seam of my shoulder. This is the right shoulder, and I'm gonna lay it down onto my machine. And the first stitch I'm gonna do is a straight stitch, and then I'm gonna come back once I clean this up. Once I clean up this area, I'm gonna use the zigzag. I'm gonna zigzag it, okay? So I'm gonna let you know what my seam allowance is. And I have my seam allowance set at, if I can see it, hold on, let's see. This is 1/8, I believe. So I'm gonna set my seam allowance to 5/8 of an inch. So I'm just gonna slide my fabric over until I get to the 5/8 of an inch mark. And then I'm gonna lower my presser foot. I may want to use my magnetic seam guide for this project. Okay, so this is my magnetic seam guide. And I'm just gonna use that and just to make sure that my lines are straight. So I'm gonna line up this part of the guide with the numbers on my machine. Just like that. And so when you do this part holds down the fabric. You can tighten this or you can loosen it up. So if you loosen it up, can you see that it's raising up off of the fabric? But then when I tighten it, it will go down and hold the fabric tight, okay? So that's going to be what I'm using. So I'm gonna lower my presser foot, needle down. I'm gonna do a couple of back stitches because this is the shoulder seam and it will get a lot of wear and tear on the jacket. putting it on and taking it off. And I'm just gonna make sure that my fabric stays lined as I sew. And then I'm just going to lift my presser foot up and cut my threads. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And if you keep your guide, if you have a guide, if not, you can put tape and build it up to where it has some type of height to it so that your fabric will stay aligned while you're sewing. But I love this magnetic guide. I love it. Especially just for straight line, sewing. Whether it's quilting or just sewing in general. I don't know how I put these pins in here because they surely don't want to come out. And these were quilting pins. You see the bend, the curve. It helps you to put the safety pin into the fabric. So I'm just going to line this up, lay it down on my sewing machine, line it up with the edge of my magnetic guide, lower my presser foot. I'm sorry, I lowered my needle, lowered my presser foot. I'm going to do some back stitching. And I'm done. So the rest of this video, I'm just going to speed it up and I'm just going to tell you what I'm about to do. I'm going to take my jacket. This is my underarm. This is the arm of my jacket. This is the side seam of my jacket. I'm just going to sew this side down and then sew the other side down and I'll be back. Okay, so I have both of my side seams sewn on the side of the jacket. And I also did the shoulder seams. So I just want to flip this right side out and show you what this looks like from the front. And of course I need to iron this just a little bit so that you can see the beauty of this. Okay, so I'm gonna try this on right now to see if it's fitting the way that I would like it to, or if I can take it in, make it smaller, or if I have to let it out. So this is the time to do that before you move on to the next part. So let's go try it on. How does it look? How does it look? I'm gonna have to go back and watch the video so I can see how it looks. It feels even in the front, so I guess that's a good thing. I'm making a jacket. I'm making a jacket. I'm making a jacket. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So since I'm happy with the fit of the jacket, I'm going to do the zigzag stitch on the side seams and on the shoulder seams. But I'm going to cut if you can see there, the stitching right here, I'm just gonna cut down some of the bulk, and then I'm going to do the zigzag stitching. Just trim it halfway, half of it. And I'm going to do that for the shoulder seam as well. And then repeat it on the other side, and I'll be back. Okay, so I have all this trimmed down on the sides. So now I'm going to do the zigzag stitch, and I'm just going to turn the knob to the left one time. I'm going to do my stitch length at a 3. I'm changing this to a 3. My needle is still going to be in the middle. I'm still going to be using 3.5 tension, and the width of my stitches, I want them to be a 3, okay? I want them to be a 3. So the length is a 3 and the width is a 3. The tension is a 3.5, and the needle is in the middle, and zigzag stitch. I don't necessarily need my magnetic guide for this. I'm only sewing that little edge that I cut off. And I'll show you what that stitch looks like, and then I'll do the rest and I'll come back. So hopefully you can see the zigzags. You can see it good on this side. But that's what the length looks like. A 3.0 length, a 3.0 width, and the tension is at a 3.5 with the needle in the middle position. So I'll do the shoulder seams on both sides and the other side seam, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back, and let me show you what I've done so far off camera, just one of the arms. So remember, I split this sleeve on accident, made it the wrong way, right? So I just folded on itself. And so what I did was I sewed this straight down, and then I zigzagged it on this side, and then I also sewed it down and zigzagged the other side. So I still have to do this sleeve, but I wanted to show you how I'm going to put my sleeves in. Okay, so I have my sleeve that I have all sewn, and I zigzag the edges, okay? So what I'm going to do now is pin my sleeve to my jacket. And there are several ways to do this, but I'm just gonna do it this way because to me it's easier, okay? So what I'm going to do is line the top of my sleeve up with the top of my shoulder seam, and I'm just gonna open it up just a little bit, because what I want to do is just grab the top layer or one layer of my shoulder, and then I'm matching it up with the shoulder seam, and then I'm gonna take one layer of my jacket and pin those together. Pin it together all the way around. And now I just want to check to make sure that my bottom seam is going to match the bottom seam of my jacket. So I want to take this, open it up just a little bit from the bottom, and then make sure that these two pieces line up. If I can open it, I want to match the seams at the bottom under my armpit. I'm going to put a pin on this side, and then I'll just put a pin on this side as well. I'm going to do one on camera and the other one off camera. Okay? So I have this side lined up. So now I'm just flipping it, and I'm going to do the back side. And I know it's probably hard to see, but I'm just lining it up so that when I go to the sewing machine, I know where everything is supposed to go, or which way it's supposed to go. So I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to start in the under the armpit sewing. I'm just going to sew all the way around, and then I'm going to go back and zigzag it all the way around. And the reason why I'm zigzagging it is to strengthen the stitches, and also when I get ready to put the bias tape on it, it should help it, because now these seams are laying flat. Okay, so let's take this to the sewing machine, and then I will sew this one, show you how to do it, and then I will go back and do this arm sleeve the same way that I did this. Remember, I messed it up cutting and splitting this top portion of my sleeve. So I went and zigzagged it and did a straight stitch down to close it up on both sides. And so now we're at this point, okay? Hopefully this is not confusing you, but this is what your arm should look like, okay? This is what it should look like. And what I have is right sides facing right sides. I just did this from the outside. And so now we'll go to the sewing machine and stitch it. And so what I did was, I don't know if you can see this, but this is a seam. I pushed this one to one side, and the one in the back, I pushed it over to this side. So just to kind of give this a flatter outcome. And so I'm just using the edge of my presser foot to line this up and go all the way around. Then I'll come back and zigzag it. And I'm gonna do a couple of back stitches in this area. After I sew this, I'm gonna check it to make sure that it fits. This is what it looks like from the outside. Okay, so now I'm gonna try it on and see if this sleeve fits. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's try this sleeve on and see what it looks like. I see just a little bit of puckering, but I think it's going to be okay. Okay, hold on. Yeah, you see that puckering? Okay, Oh, let me see. Maybe because I don't have both of them. Even though I don't have this sleeve on, let me just put the jacket, pull it up. Okay, yeah. I still feel like it's got a little bit of something there. But other than that, baby, it's not perfect, but it's done. Let me show you the back. And this is what I'm talking about. Like right up in here is too loose. It's too something. I don't even know what it is. But it's something. Okay? So now I just got to do this side. And hopefully it fits like this or better. So we'll see. Tell me what you think so far in the comments.
So I'm going to turn it inside out. Yes. Yes. And then I can put my bias tape. I don't know, maybe. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's done. It's not perfect, but it's done. It's not perfect, but it's done. So hopefully, we can get the other side to look like this. Wah, wah, wah. Okay. Oh, and this is my pocket that I added. I did that off camera. Okay.
Okay, so this is day 3 of me making the quilted jacket out of an existing quilt. So we will get done with this today. And the big reveal is on its way. So I just want to start by saying what I have learned so far about this jacket and doing this process is making sure that I complete all 4 layers, like all 4 layers or 5 layers or whatever I'm working on is under the needle and under the thread. Yes, so if anything else, I will let you know by the end of this video of everything else that I probably have learned or that you should probably learn as well. Thank you for taking this journey with me, and let's get to the video. Okay, so here is my jacket so far. Okay, so this is what I have so far. Both of my sleeves are in. Okay, and so now what I want to do is I want to work on the neckline. I want this is my collar that I have already sewn together. So this is the back. This is what it looks like underneath. And so I want to take where I notched my neckline, and then I also have a notch in my collar. So I just want to pin this right sides together, meeting up the notches, and that will be that. So I'm just gonna get a few pins. Piece these 2 together. Just like that. And then I'm just going to work my way around, pinning around all the edges. I'm sorry, in this circle. Matching this up. And once I get this all matched up, I'll be back. Okay, so now that I have this all matched up, this is my edge for my collar, and they both are about the same. They are not equal, but they are close to being the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the sewing machine and sew a straight line all the way down, and then I'm going to go back and zigzag this all the way down. And then while we are at the sewing machine, we will be using these 1.5 inch strips of fabric, jean fabric, and this will be my bias binding, or my binding to make the inside of my jacket look more professional, and it's going to also be on the outside. I was going to use another bias binding, however, it was too small and I didn't want to struggle, first of all, and I really just didn't want to do this jacket without having some type of jean material, because I love jean material. So we will see if these will work. And even if it doesn't, it's my jacket and this is a learning lesson. So these are 28 inch strips, 1 and 1.5 inch strips. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6 strips of 28 inches. And then I also have 6 strips of 17 inches, just in case I need them or need these, right? I would rather use the ones that are already long and then cut off what I don't need versus piecing these together and making them long. Okay, so now we are going to the sewing machine and get this party started. Okay, now I'm going to zigzag all the way across. Okay. I had to pivot again. Okay, so I put the jean at the top of my collar. So now let me. I'm gonna show you how I'm doing this. It's not perfect, but it's done. Okay, I'm gonna put it. This is the length of the jacket, like the front, the front panel of the jacket, like when you put the jacket on, this is the front side that you will see. So what I have done is I've already folded my 1.5 strips of jean material in half, and I ironed it down towards the middle. So all I'm going to do is I stopped my cuff for my, what am I trying to say? For the collar, I stopped it right here. So it's open right here, okay? So what I'm going to do is take this one and line it up towards the back, just like this. I'm gonna run I'm sorry. I'm getting tired now, but anyway, we're gonna try to get this finished. I'm gonna roll, oh Jesus, okay. Start over. I'm gonna run a line of stitching across the back so that when I flip this over, it will be seamless, or have some, the seam right here, but it will connect this piece to the next piece, okay? Woo, all right, so let's just do it. Right now, I'm just trying to line it up Okay, so, and I'm gonna do a couple of back stitches. And then take it off. And then I'm just going to cut that so that it will reduce some of the bulk. And cut these stitches as well. Okay. And then so now when I fold this over, these two pieces are connected. And then I'm just going to take my jacket and insert it in the middle, in between those two. So I'm just sandwiching it. Just like this. And so I'm just going to run a row of stitching all the way down until I get to the end. And I'll just let you watch this part just so you can see how I'm doing it. And I just want to let you know too that I left the raw edges. So when I wash this jacket, this will fray, and I am totally okay with that. So you just want to sandwich those two pieces in. Get your material underneath your machine. And I'm trying to line it up with the one that I already had sewn. And then I'm going to back stitch. And then I'm just going to pull, just not pull, but guide the back of this so that it can come over this hump. Okay. And then I'm just going to sew all the way down, making sure that my jacket is sandwiched in between the two pieces of jean. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do any buttons or anything like that. I'm just concentrating on getting the jacket completed at this moment. And then once I get all the way down to the bottom, I'm just going to go back up, all the way up on the other side. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Whew, okay. I think I'm done. So, here's my jacket. I'm finished. And now it's time to reveal what the jacket looks like. Okay, here we go. And yes, I still got fuzz on my clothes. Don't worry about it. Okay. Here it is. Oh, no. Okay. Well. Okay. I'm gonna have to do something because this doesn't match this, but it's done nonetheless. So what I did was I put jean binding all the way around the jacket, even at the back, at the bottom. But I did not think about, I should have put another piece of this material on top of this so that you could see this side right here. So my fault. I didn't know. Okay. However, I think that I don't even know if I can fix it, but this is the jacket. This is it. Okay, this is it. And this is the pockets that I did. I may end up adding some jean material on the bottom of at the top of my pockets, just to make this jean blend in, maybe. I don't know. But I definitely, the next time I make this jacket, I will make sure that this part matches this part, or vice versa, or whatever. But I'm just gonna say that for my first time making this jacket, I think I did really, really well. I did make some mistakes, but however, I wasn't looking for perfection. I was looking for done. And I think that I did that. I accomplished that goal. So I'm going to take the jacket off and kind of bring it a little closer just so you guys can see the detail. And I did fold in my cuffs. So I just folded them in and stitched them just so that they will be, you won't see the inside. You just see the top portion. And I can still just roll up my sleeve like this, because I will probably wear it like this. I did not do any buttons because, yeah, it took me 3 days to do this. And that's because I have other things that I'm doing. So I did it in between the other things that I was doing. But my jacket is complete. And I love it, except I have to fix this. And even if I don't know, I can't, maybe I can just flip my collar in for now. I don't even know. Yeah, I probably could do that. But other than that, I love it. It's perfect for me, okay? I'll do better next time. But let's spin around the room. Yeah, I got a jacket that I can wear whenever I feel like it. Okay. And it doesn't match everything, but I can still throw this on and go to the grocery store if I wanted to, or, to the thrift store. How about that? Okay. So thank you guys for tuning in. And if you liked this series of me making a quilted jacket out of a quilt, hit the like button. Come back, because I'm going to be doing more. And thank you for going on this journey with me. I had fun. It was a lot of work, being that it was my first time, because I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but I did accomplish what I set out to do. And for that, I am thankful and I am grateful. And I hope that this inspires you to do the same. So I did want to show you a close-up of the bias binding that I did with the jean material all the way around. My cuffs are folded, and this is what it's looking like. And this is the pockets. Okay, and I did do 2 rows of stitching just so make it a little decorative. But this is what the collar looks like close up. And I will put some jean material probably around this area, both of these, just to close this in. Even though I have this backwards or wrong, I will still probably put the jean material here just to make it look more finished. But for now, this is the jacket and this is the inside. I like the inside too, because I like the flower. But this is what the seams look like on the inside, on both sides, and down the side seam. So yeah, it's complete. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video. Unbiased LLC, and I'm out. Spin around the room. Yeah, I got me a jacket. Spin around the room. I got me a jacket, and it is one of a kind. Yeah. Mwah.